Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you being here. And we have another former chairman here as well. And then in probably 5 minutes, the soon-to-be chairman. So I get to be a chairman too. So this is probably some historic number of chairmen here. But thank you again for your service to this committee. And I know you'll do great work over on energy, as you do everywhere. So thanks a lot. Thanks for enumerating some of the successes from last year. I'd like to give an opening statement, and then I'll turn to my ranking member, who's my ranking member for 10 minutes. And then, in any event, some of the successes I'd like to talk about that we were able to achieve in this committee over the last several years was when President Trump signed the Use It Act, which supports carbon capture and utilization and sequestration. It was a great bipartisan bill that Senator Whitehouse and Senator Barrasso and several of us on the committee worked on together. The Diesel Emissions Reduction Act, which is something we've been working on for years, was passed. Another WRDA bill went through at the end of the year, which is always a good every 2-year exercise for all of us. And the American Innovation in Manufacturing, or the AIM Act, which will reduce emissions of HFCs used in air conditioning and refrigeration. So that spirit of bipartisanship that we had last year, I hope is one that we can, and I intend to certainly to maintain and foster. And from our conversations, numerous conversations, I feel as though Senator Carper feels the same way. Our most pressing focus this Congress will be passing the 5-year highway bill. This is a tall order, but one where this committee has already had a record of success. Senator Barrasso talked about it. We reported out the bill 21-0 last year, and I look forward to, and I think we are going to have quick work taking up the highway bill in this committee, because the importance not just to our nation's infrastructure, but also to our employment structure here. It's a jobs bill. It always has been, and it will remain that way, and at a time no more timely than the present. So I look forward to working with everybody, but because we must give our states the certainty. And with that optimistic introduction, I want to welcome our nominee for Secretary, Michael Regan, and his family here, the nominee for EPA Administrator, to our committee today. Got to meet his wife and his very fun and smart young son, Matthew. So congratulations on your nomination. I look forward to the opportunity to get to know you better and discuss and work together into the future. While I'm encouraged by the continuing bipartisanship among members of our committee, I am concerned by the direction that the administration has taken in the first few weeks of office, and I want to understand your position on these policies, and we talked on the phone about this. President Biden did campaign on issues of unity, and there's no committee where we praise unity more, and sometimes we have more disunity sometimes than this committee that we are sitting on. The barrage of executive orders has particular concern for me. His decision on the Keystone XL pipeline has, I think, great impacts in the job markets. He's put us back in the Paris Agreement, which also has great impacts both economically in this country, and his administration has doubled down on the desire to financially support other countries' climate goals, while our own country, as we know, is facing economic challenges. He has ordered agencies across the federal government to examine and uproot critical regulatory reforms, including several within the jurisdiction of the EPA, even without an administrator in place. Executive Order 13990 directs the EPA to consider suspending, revising, or rescinding major rules that were put into place by the Trump administration. Those rules include regulations on methane emissions, the Safer, Affordable, Fuel-Efficient Vehicles Rule, called the SAFER Rule, and the cost, benefit, and science transparency policies. In my view, I think that I see this as a foreboding of what happened in past administrations, and coming from a state like West Virginia, it's a cautionary tale. The fate of other rules, like the Affordable Clean Energy Rule and the Navigable Water Protection Rule, which are important in all of our states, is something that I'm sure we will be digging down on in this hearing. So I would like to say that it is hard to build back better, as the president has said, if we can't build anything, and that's why I think the Executive Order 13990, which directs us to revisit the NEPA regulations, which we were encouraging to expedite infrastructure delivery, I think is also could be problematic. So I think that the president has taken, he has talked, I mean, I was in the Oval Office with him on Monday as we talked a lot about bipartisanship and the need to work together. So I think that I am concerned about some of the appointments that the president has made where they are not in the purview of this committee or any really congressional committee or congressional oversight. That, of course, would be Gina McCarthy and John Kerry. They've already established themselves as the unconfirmed and unaccountable czars on climate, as they made that very clear on Wednesday's White House press conference. I am concerned that this is shaping up to be a third Obama administration, and as I enumerated, and I know I've talked with my friend Senator Carper about the impacts that had on my state of West Virginia. I am concerned about with the leadership in the White House, with the czars, what kind of impacts will that have on you should you be successful as to become the EPA administrator? What kind of impacts that will have on you as you carve your own course in conjunction with the administration? I would remind you, and I think I did on the phone call, that one of my objections to Ms. McCarthy is the fact that she wouldn't, at our invitation and many invitations, come to the home states of those senators where we had the most deep economic impacts of the Clean Power Plan. It still stings, I will say, and I'm hoping that we can have a different outcome. And you and I talked about this on the phone. So I think as we look at that, and that is a balance, it's an achievable balance, but it's a balance. I think that, the president and you also talk a lot about environmental and economic justice. But sometimes I question, where's the justice when it's not taken into consideration that many people are being plunged into poverty, unemployment, drug addiction, and hopelessness by some of the misguided policies. So with that, I will turn this over to Senator Carper, who is in this particular meeting the ranking member. But I look forward to discussing this, and I look forward to having our two senators after Senator Carper makes his opening statement. So thank you.